So, God. Rom. Is that a... Anyway, top man. Everybody else gonna have to wait. No, not everybody. You're all top people. So today's the 27th of September. It's a Wednesday. Now you're probably thinking, oh, this isn't not a very good view. Only because the wife's moved the seating around and I can't be bothered to set one up down there. So you're just gonna have to put up with what's on. There's nothing that way other than a white wall, but you can see it's nice and sunny. So you're top people. So today's temperatures is 28 in the shade, which is good for me because it is pretty warm again today still, and it's still oh, it is sunny. I thought it was a bit cloudy this morning. Oh yeah, because this morning it looked like it was going to rain. It came over really horrible, but that's soon gone now. It's nice and sunny because what it is, guys, I've been in the basement most of the day again doing some videos, and I'm just having a bit of a break because it's a Kit Kat break. And I got to thank Rob. Rob's in Seville now. He's on his sort of end part of his holiday or tour of Spain. He's a top man. I'm sorry, guys. It's been one of those days where I've been on the go. Yeah. So, everybody's popping in now. I've only got one like, but hey ho, it might get better. I've got 15 now. Well, I'm just Villa Martin, very nice place, I must say. I've only been here a few times, but I really like that area. Right, now I've got quite a lot to chat about today, really, and I'll get on with that now. I've got a cup of tea as well. See, so all right, let's get on with it. I've got 19 in the house. Oh, now the lights are coming in now, good. So I got, first of all, got to do a shout out to Steve Lee. He's a top man because he bought me a coffee, a big coffee. So most appreciate that. And as I said before, YouTube has said to me, you got to subscribe, you got to like, and if you want to, you can buy me a coffee. But if you don't want to buy me a coffee, you can always buy one on the chat. Did you know? Anyway, John, I've got a couple of things to get through. Now, John was asking about his topic. Now, I've got quite a lot of Johns, so this is a hard one. But I think the John that was asking about his topic was the guy that lives in Scotland, and it was something about the family. I think if that was that John. John, you got another 12. So I mean, I've got so many people. But guys, still keep putting the questions below. I'm adding that to the list. It won't be for another 12 days, so hang on in there. Steve also asked, this is another Steve back in the UK, that's Steve, and he was asking to me, when I'm going to meet Delta Mike for a coffee. I don't think Delta Mike would buy me a coffee. If you don't know Delta Mike, that's another YouTube channel from Spain. He lives in Torrevieja. Not really sure whereabouts he lives really, because he's a tramp, and he lives in I believe somebody's bought him a tent now, and he's living in a field somewhere. Would I be able to track him down? Torrevieja's a big place. But anyway, Delta Mike, I know he's out there. I mean, I'll be honest, I've joined his channel, but Steve, I'll be honest, mate, I'm so busy at the moment, I don't honestly think I'll be getting over to see Delta Mike. Not unless Delta Mike wants to come over here, which I think would probably be, wouldn't have thought he would walk, because it's a long way from here. But anyway, Steve, I've got it on the radar. I might visit him Christmas time if he's still in that field. But yeah, check out Delta Mike, the tramp, lives in Torrevieja. Interesting stuff. Right, today's topic is by Patricia. And then Patricia asked, Hopefully she's watching now. She might not be, because I know I'm a bit late again today. How do you learn to drive on the other side of the road here in Spain? I mean, to be quite honest, that is a good question, that. Because I think a lot of people that do come over, and I know my Oppo, my wife, she was one of them, was very weary of driving at all, really. I ended up doing most of the driving. Any touring that we do, especially travelling through France and other countries, I love driving, so it's no odds to me. But I know it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and I know a lot of people that come over, and I was one of them. I brought over my UK car, so you're sat on the other side of the car anyway. You sat on the right side, and it's a little bit difficult, but it's not that difficult, because I know quite a few people. One of them, Steve and Mandy, they've got a UK car, and they've gone through the right requirements. I think you got to change the lights or something, the rear brake light. I'm not, obviously the number plates is another thing you got to do, and they have no problem. I mean, I think one of the problems that you do come across is obviously a toll road, but there are ways of getting around the toll road. If you didn't know, you can go into the bank, you can pay like a subscription, and they put like a tag thing up in the window, so when your car approaches the toll gate, it automatically lifts up. Obviously it records the price, and I think you get like a monthly bill, but you do get a reduction on that. So I mean, that's something to think about, I suppose. But I mean, I'll be honest, the amount of times that I use a toll road here, pretty zilch. If I'm going to do a long drive, obviously if I want to go probably down to Almeria, but I don't tend to go on the toll road anyway. I always go on the back road. I like the back roads, because you see, I get distracted and go off down another track. You can't do that on the toll road. Once you're on the toll road, you're on the toll road. But some people do it, and I suppose if you had still a right-hand drive car, that would be easy. Another one is the litter picker. Get a litter picker. I mean, what we're talking about is like giving the receipt to either. I don't know how you do with the paying the lady, unless you attach a bag to it. But taking the receipt out of the machine, I know it's done. You can use one of those litter pickers to pull out the receipt, and I think no, because when you get the other, well, down this end of Spain, we still got people. We haven't got machines like they have in France, where you got to the machine, it's all done by machine. But I know further up Spain they do use the automated things. But here, thankfully, we've still got somebody in a little box who says hello, tells you the price. You give them. And what we tend to do here is all the change. I don't know about you lot, but you get so many different. You know, I'm on about a titchy witchy. I mean, the 1 cent, the 2 cents, and whatever other cents they have. We just save all that up, bag it all up, and we give it to the toll lady, and she just takes it. We just tell her there's a couple of euros and whatever in there, because down here, to be honest, the toll roads are not a lot of money. And Spain was told this year that from the EU they wanted all the major roads to go toll. So you can guess what Spain have said. No, they're not doing it. Good on Spain for that. So they're not paying. They don't want to pay the money back. That's what it's all about. But anyway, going back to learning to drive on the other side of the road, I think the only things you've got to be careful of, I think, is roundabouts, and obviously turning. Now they do have a system there that if you wanted to turn left, they've got this thing here. Most European places do it. If you want to turn left, instead of coming up to a junction and just turn left, they make you go off to the right, come round, and then cross. Usually there's traffic lights there, but there are some places they don't have a traffic light, so you go off to the right, you straighten your car up. Is it a good idea? I don't know. I'll be honest, I think sometimes I've actually gone left and forgot about the turning on the right. But hey, not everybody is 100% perfect when it comes to road procedures. But I know, you know, that's one of the things. But I'll be honest, when I had my UK car, I mean, I've been driving, you know, I do class myself as a driver. I wouldn't say I'm a perfect driver. I wouldn't say I'm that brilliant. I would think I am. I know Jan seems to close her eyes sometimes, but then I close my eyes when she's driving. So I'll be honest, it's not that difficult. I think people worry about it a lot. I think it's easier here because seeing the traffic jam is a bit of a miracle, really. Other than going into Mercia or the bigger cities like Cartagena, yeah, you will get held up in traffic jams. That's to do with traffic lights, but you don't get a lot of traffic here. So even going on the motorway, unless it's the weekend, you hardly see any traffic. So I think it's a good way of learning to drive on the other side of the road. Like I said, I think roundabouts can be a little bit dodgy. And anyway, in the end, I just thought I might just go the full hog. So I bought a left-handed drive car, and I'm trying to sell a right-handed car here was a bit of a nightmare. I mean, I couldn't sell it in the end, not to get a good price. So I had to take it back to the UK. I think I mentioned it before. I have noticed the prices of cars here, I think, are a bit over the top. And I know a lot of people tend to either buy it in France or Germany, bring the car back over. Obviously, you've got to pay some sort of tax thing. I haven't done that yet, but I think it'll be in a few years' time. But thinking about it, we might go leasehold. We might buy a lease car and get a nice brand new one. And obviously you've got to pay a monthly fee, but I think that's the way we're going to go because we're getting on a bit now. I'm not into all this. To me, a car is A to B. It's not about, oh, I've got a nice big car. I have to keep it shiny and clean every day. That's not me. To me, the car's out on the road. It just gets clean when it needs to be clean, and it can get a little bit grubby, my car. And even though, I must say, the wife, she's just in the process of buying a car. What a palaver. Buying a second-hand car is not like the UK, guys, and I don't really want to go into it other than I can't believe the amount of money it costs. My Jan's only buying a cheap car. It didn't cost much, really. To be honest, the paperwork costs more than the freaking car does. But I'll tell you more about buying the second-hand car palaver when Jan's actually got the car, because she's still in a process of looking at Kit Kat. So I'm looking at the Kit Kat thinking, I don't know if I can resist it any longer. I've got 32 in the house. I've got 22 lights. I'm sorry about speaking with a mouthful. I'm not very good at sit. Oh, look, I've already lost a couple of watches then. Yeah. So, go through the temperature again while I'm talking and spitting over the thingy. So it's 28 today, which is a good temperature. I think this week it's been pretty high in temperatures. I'm talking about 28 in the shade. I'm sure when you sat outside in that sun, it's probably well in the 30s. The pool, I think when I looked the other day, my pool was about 24, and to me that's too cold. Even though I know there's a lot out there that love going in the pool. They do say the sea's warmer than the pool, but I ain't going in the sea. You don't know what's in that sea out there, guys. There's octopuses, there's fish that's got scaly things on it, and also you got what's the other things? Oh yeah, those jellyfish. No, but a lot of people go in the sea. I mean, you know, I think a lot of people do this board surfing thing now. Seems to be a big fad at the moment. It wouldn't get me doing that. I'm a land lover myself. So anyway, Patricia, don't worry about it. Jump in the car, whatever car you got, be it right or left-hand drive. I always found really when you approach, I mean, don't go 100% by it, because the law does state it's the same as anywhere else around the world. If you're going on a roundabout and you go around to the left, you go into the middle and go to the left. But here in Spain, they don't tend to do that. They've got this thing about hit a roundabout, they go on the outside lane. No matter where they're going, be it if they are going right, that's fair enough. But you find a lot of them, if they're going to go right round, they'll go round on the outside lane, And then when they're near the entrance that you want to go, they just cut in front of you. So I just do that. I follow them because to me it's less hassle. And if you notice, a lot of Spanish cars do have a lot of dents in them. They've got this other thing I've noticed in Spain. I don't know if it's 100% right, but somebody's told me that if you're parking your car and you're trying to get into a very small gap, you can nudge in. You can't push it, but you can nudge in and go back, forward, so you'll bang, forward, bang. And you can't get done for that. I mean, I would imagine if you crushed his bumper, yeah, that's something different. But if you, and I believe if you scratch somebody's car, you can't get done for that. But don't take my word for that. It's just what I've heard, and looking at some of the state of the cars that you will see driving around, I think that's probably what goes on. But anyway, see, and this is another thing about when I tell people about when they're buying property, go and seek proper legal advice and not somebody like me, because I can't tell you the rights and wrongs of that. I'm just telling you about everyday life, what goes on here. And it just goes on everywhere, doesn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. 32 in the house. I've got 26 likes. That's parking boy here. Just I've just seen a couple there, so I can read some of them. Same in France. Yeah, I think it's the same all over, isn't it? I mean, I'll be honest. I think France has been the worst place I've seen driving, especially in Paris. Nightmare. Yeah, definitely Paris. Germany, they're all right. On the autobahn, obviously, if you're slow, you got no chance. But yeah, Paris is the worst place. So anybody from Paris, guys, you're fantastic people. I love you. But driving is a lot to be desired. I don't like going through Paris. If I can help it, I don't try and help it. But sometimes you do get Google sat nav takes you there. But anyway, I think we've done everything. I've got to thank John again, just for a big shout out for John for contributing to the coffee fund. You're a top man, John. Anyway, I think that's it now. I'm going to catch you again tomorrow. I've got another good one tomorrow. I haven't written it down, but the weather's like this. And we're coming into October, would you believe? Anyway, adios amigos. I'll catch you tomorrow. Adios.